What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxer coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Erislandy, Lara, and Janibek in the news as it is seeming close and close for them to sign on the dotted line that they will be facing each other next. Now, I don't know about you, but I think this is a very, very interesting matchup. One that's very compelling, and I think this one that is one that Erislandy, Lara really need. Oh, really, both of them need it. Both of them need it. And I know not just Erislandy, Lara, because both of them need a good marquee victory. All right, so let me go ahead and get into the article, and then I'm gonna go over my opinion and thoughts. All right, so shout out to boxing.com. It says Janibek and Erislandy Lara unification bout in play. Janibek can finally cease tormenting his middleweight peers on social media, meaning because he's been calling out everybody on social media. Boxing Scene has just learned that the unbeaten IBF and WBO 160-pound titleist is on a course to next face WBA middleweight title holder Erislandy Lara. The 3-belt unification bout is expected to land on the next PBC announced Premier Boxing Champions pay-per-view event, which would pair this fight with rumored Aesop Pitbull Cruz and Lamont Roach clash in December. Y'all excuse the background, I'm outside and it's kids at the playground. But anyways, the development comes after previous rumors surfaced that WBC title holder Carlos Adames was the targeted opponent for Janibek, who has the record of 17-0 with 12 knockouts. The pair of middleweight title claimants have gone back and forth with insults and demands for more than a year on social media, but never came close to meeting in the ring. No reason was given, even off the record, as why Adames didn't land the assignment. However, the Dominican is pressed with the outstanding mandatory title defense against Kazakhstan's Mira Nuka. Janibek has not fought since April 5th knockout victory over Emmanuel Nama on home soil in Kazakhstan. The 32-year-old Southpaw hadn't fought in his native country since September 2017, prior to the long overdue homecoming. The win extended his current four-fight knockout streak and also marking his 5th defense of at least one middleweight title. Janibek claimed the WBO interim at 160 belt in the second round knockout over Danny Dignum in May 2022. He subsequently upgraded to the full title holder later that year, since added the IBF in a 6-round knockout victory over then unbeaten Vincent Guacalucalaca. I cannot pronounce these names, so I'm pronouncing them the way I want to. Excuse me. Lara, who has the record of 31-3 with 3 draws, 19 big wins coming from way of knockout, has been the recognized WBA 160-pound titleist since March 2023, after he previously held a secondary version of the title. However, the 42-year-old Cuban Southpaw who lives and trains in Las Vegas has made just 2 defenses of the title, both coming in 2024. Ironically, the most active campaign of the decade. Lara wiped out the mandatory challenger Michael Zarafa inside 2 rounds last March on the inaugural PBC on Prime pay-per-view event. The win was followed by a 9th round stoppage over former 2-division titleist Danny Garcia, which is still crazy to me that fight was even put into play, because I mean, it's just stylistically, I don't know what the hell they were thinking about matching Danny Garcia up with Lara. And Danny Garcia was also inactive for 2 years as well. That was crazy. Anyways, but it was on the September 14th on Canelo versus Berlanga undercard in Vegas. Lara previously held the WBA 154-pound title and a reign in which ended up in a split decision defeat to then unbeaten IBF titleist Jared Hurd in their sensational April 2018 unification bout. He has fought just 7 times since then, compelling a 6-0 record with over that period. All right, so let's talk about it. All right, so when we look at Erislandy Lara's resume, right, like Lara is we all know he's a very, very good fighter, but the thing about Lara's resume is like he could just never get that marquee win, that marquee, like, you know, he had a few good names to fight him, but he could just never get that marquee win. If I'm being honest, the biggest win on the biggest name that he's beaten is probably Danny Garcia. But excuse me, but like the guys that he's fought, Um, it's like, bro, he can't, like, you know, it's like he fights just like a certain level of guys, and a lot of that is due to the people at 154. I know where he was like coming up, like they did not want to fight him. A lot of people didn't want to fight him and was avoiding him. I know him and Demetrius Andrade used to go back and forth, but even that is kind of stopped now. It's like both of them really just are on the same path. I think that's a fight that probably still could be made now. Anyways, if you look on his resume, if I'm just naming the guys that I know on his resume, you got Darnell Boone. Darnell Boone was a big journeyman. He actually, if I'm not, I don't know. I think he was the one that dropped Andre Ward. I know he fought Andre Ward. He fought Darnell Boone fought a lot of guys, but he's not no big name or anything. And you know, a lot of the guys aren't. But Carlos Molina, you know, Paul Williams, who that was actually one of the biggest rivalries in the sport of boxing to me. And I never understood how they were able to suspend the judges for that fight, but they weren't able to overrule this fight. That was a huge rivalry in my opinion. But you know, you got Ronald Hearns, who was Tommy Hearns' son. He beat him. Vance Martirosyan, they drawed the first. It was a technical draw. No, yeah, it was a technical draw overnight. I forgot what happened. It probably was a headbutt or something like that. Alfredo Angulo, you know, the decent guy. Austin Trout, you know, at that time he had beaten Miguel Cotto, but had lost to Canelo Alvarez. Decent guy. Ishii Smith, you know, Delvin Rodriguez, you know, Vance Martirosyan beat him. Yuri Foreman, you know, Terrell Goucher. Like, he's beaten a lot of just like decent guys. Raymond Alvarez, the brother of Canelo Alvarez. Thomas Lamano, who just got knocked out by Charlo. Gary O'Sullivan, Michael Zarafa, and Danny Garcia. He's beaten a lot of decent guys, but if you guys notice, like, he doesn't have that big name to that's like really on his resume or whatnot, right? Like, you know, and then you got Janibek. I'm gonna go look him up. Is this with a J? I've been seeing some people spell it with a J and some people spell it with a Z. I don't know why. All right. See, on BoxRec it's ZH, but in when you look it up it's J. I don't know. Anyways, you look at his resume, pretty much the same. Let me see. If Von Alexander, that's Devin Alexander's brother. He's a journeyman. He actually fights. I forgot who he got a fight coming up, I believe. Somebody that I know. Let me look at him real quick. Like Gabe Rosado, yeah. Knew I wasn't tripping. Yeah, Von Alexander, he actually fights Gabe Rosado. Anyways, Rob Brandt, I've heard of him. Hasim Endam, I've heard of that dude had a fight of the year with Peter Quillen, and he went back to the Olympics and got beat. But yeah, he I mean, if both fighters beat, you know, for each fighter, they would be the best victory that each fighter has. So, you know, this is an interesting matchup. You know, and another thing that's interesting is the fact that this is the PBC is allowing this. I thought Janibek was with Top Rank. I don't know what's going on as far as promotional wise as well. Now, I think this is a very interesting style as far as like stylistic matchup. We all know that Lara, I don't know, here recently, Lara's just been pretty much like, he hasn't really been using his legs like that. But I think Lara needs to use his legs in this fight. I don't think Lara needs to stand right in front of Janibek. That wouldn't be smart to do. And if you're Janibek, you definitely got to apply the pressure on Lara. It's one of those old, that old saying, fight the boxer and box the fighter. So I'm interested to seeing this, man. I'm interested in seeing this. If I had to lean, I would probably lean towards Janibek right now in this point of Erislandy Lara's career. But my prediction this year has been off. My predictions for the last few years have kind of been off. So I don't know if I will really trust my word on it. But I'll break the fight down as it gets announced and closer to it. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?